Gazpacho will come and join us. Gazpachito! Say hi to everybody. Say hi! See, this is how I control him and get the best images ever. Good joy. How have you guys been? It has been, I think, 2 weeks since I recorded a Flosstube. And although I'm uploading a ton of content recently, which if you're still subscribed to me and hanging around and you're not interested in all the other stuff, ball's about to leave. Thank you so much for sticking around because I am continuing Flosstubes. Wow, noises. If you're still subscribed after all of the upload blow-ups, thank you. I am still making Flosstubes. It's just that with more free time and more creative avenues and stuff, I've been uploading a lot more on YouTube. So if you, just a quick reminder, if you see a lot of coffee chat and you're not interested, don't worry about it. And then I also uploaded like just a fun little tutorial. Don't worry about it. But my Flosstubes, I will always put Flosstube on it and I will likely promote it or like say something on Instagram so you guys know that it's a Flosstube. And here I am to talk about stitching and nothing else. So for new people, hi, my name is Rocío and this is my channel, Cocohamas Stitchery. You guys just saw Gazpacho, but right now he is trying to take a ball out from under the couch. It is embarrassing the amount of stitching, I think, that I have done in the past 2 weeks. I have a finish, an almost finish, which was a new start, another new start, a little bit of a whip, and some plans for September. So let's get into it. Let's start out with, I guess, finishes, right? Which obviously is not here. So this is Nora Corbett Zenia. It's one of the Bewitching Pixies by, I think I already said it, Nora Corbett. Can you see that okay? I started her last year September. And I pulled her out and I finished it. I am so in love with her. So in love with her. She was stitched on a 32 count. Trying to see if you guys are focused. She is stitched on a 32 count Lugana in the colorway Storm by Picture This Plus. I did make a couple of changes, which I'll explain when I turn the camera around. So we always get a better quality video with this camera versus the front facing camera. But let's see. So first change, which is like the biggest change. So if you look at the picture on the cover, you see that the beads are red. But the called for beads are these Mill Hill 02056, which do have a red tinge, but the light has to hit it just perfectly. And I swapped them for 02099. So you see the beading. I also did her skin 1/1. Now I mixed some of the beads though. So you can see like red beads. In the goblet I did black beads, black. She's supposed to have a red back stitching here. I did it in black. This back stitching was supposed to be in like a green, but I did it in black as well. Her skin is done 1/1. And then down here, instead of going with the red beads, I did the black. She's so pretty. The back stitching around the skull, I didn't back stitch on the outside of the skull. I just did the inside details because I thought that those little stitches, the little quarter stitches, made him look so cute. There she is. I think I mentioned in my first Flosstube ever, which I have never rewatched, that I started her as a gift to my mother. My mother loves witches and will call herself a witch, and I think everyone would agree with that. So it's like this term of endearment, but it holds some truth. And she has a Lady of Walls. She has a wall of ladies in her house, and she has one piece cross-stitched by me already from a long time ago. I think I may have a picture and I'll insert her there. She was a kit, I don't even remember. It was called like a day off. So since my kit days, I want to say that this witch may have been the first Mirabilia / Nora Corbett that I ever purchased. And it may also be my first little needle workshop and LNS purchase ever too. Because originally when I purchased her, I did everything called for, including the milk chocolate, but I never started her. So let me see. She came out, it says here copyright 2016. Sounds about right because she would have been like as a new arrival on the stand. So that's 4 years ago. So I purchased her 4 years ago, kitted up completely with this chocolate, and I started her last year, September, and finished her this year. Obviously I stitched on her last year in the month of September, and then I put her down, and then she came back out and was whipped out. I finished her, I think, in 2 or 3 days. I told you, it was very embarrassing. But she didn't have too much left. She had her leg, the beading, and then the posts, which I ended up having to stitch twice. And I actually recorded a little bit of how to fix holes in the stitching, so I'm gonna insert that clip right now too. The beads also, I did not substitute them. Like, I substituted them, but I didn't. The owner of my little needle workshop, Stitches from the Heart in San Antonio, Texas, she pulled out those and gave them to me. And had it not been for her, I would have stitched the whole entire thing in the black beads. And I'm very grateful that she helped a new stitcher in the non-kit adventure and just kind of was like, here, take these beads, take them both, but take these, which great, because now I purchased 2 packs of beads. But no, what I mean is, like, it was super good that she did that, because I'm telling you, in the picture, the beads are red, but the called for beads are black. I stitched on the Lion King, the Thomas Kinkade Disney Dreams collection. This isn't out of print. I stitched on him. So I recorded last on the 19th, and I put down the Lion King on the 21st. Originally, I had said that I was going to continue stitching on the Lion King throughout the whole month of August, but I just got really tired of the Lion King. So I don't remember exactly where I left off, but I just dropped my hoop. And I ironed, lightly ironed. I haven't fully pressed anything. So you're still gonna see hoop marks. I like stitching in hoops because I feel my tension is much better than in a Q-snap, but of course you're gonna get hoop rings. So the hoop rings will disappear once I wash and fully press, but I did like a light iron so that you guys can see this a little bit better and that the hoop mark isn't as distracting. So here's the full fabric. That's a lot of stitching I have to go. It felt like I did a ton, but then when you open the whole thing, you're like, oh, maybe not. There is Simba, and then Timon and Pumbaa. We've got Nala coming in, and then Rafiki's gonna come in. So I think I had mentioned this purple is not the correct purple, but we're rolling with it. And that was an error from the kit company. But up here was calling for this flop. Like it would have been dark up here, but I just continued with the light. And then, see, and when I look at it, I'm like, oh, maybe I'll pull him out and work on him some more. There are 2 people, almost 3. Rika, I'm still calling you out. You're supposed to start The Little Mermaid. You're in quarantine. Unless you don't have the project, you have no excuse not to start it. Just saying. But another good friend, Madam Ice, Kate. But I go by people's like screen names, like the Instagram handles. I like them. Like, I don't know, I have a gamer background and I enjoy that. So Madam Ice is working on Beauty and the Beast, and we have a little hashtag, and it's once upon a TK stitch. I'll put it somewhere around so that we can click the hashtag and then you can see all of the Disney Dreams collection. I think that there are other Disney Dream collection hashtags, but it's more fun when you know the stitcher behind the project, and then you click on a hashtag and you see it. I guess that's the point of what a SAL or a stitch along is. And then I have recently discovered a newish floss tuber named Bobo. Well, her name isn't Bobo, but Bobo Stitch and Quilt. She was and is working on the Cinderella. Wow. So go and check her channel out and you can see some more of these Disney Dreams getting stitched up. So we've got the Lion King, and then, like I said, Madam Ice is doing the Beauty and the Beast, Bobo Stitch and Quilt is doing the Cinderella, and then Rika, House of Stitch and Stash, is supposed to be starting the Little Mermaid. And I recently, because he went freaking viral and is like broke the internet, Noah Stitches, he has it completed and up on his wall, and it's beautiful. So I can't wait to get this finished and join in the finishing of the Lion King. But I don't know. I think this happens with a lot of floss tubers. It's like you have your plans, right? You have plans, plan. And then when you record a floss tube and you start touching your project scene, you're like, maybe I will work on that some more because I miss you. Well, I'm totally running on a tangent. So I had recorded on the 19th is what I said. And I was stitching on him until the 21st. And gosh, I don't remember who I was talking to, but I think it was Jordan. Jordan now has changed her handle to the Tattooed Stitcher. I'll insert here. And she claims she's starting a floss tube. So please, let's give her some encouragement and get her up on the screen because we all want to see what Jordan's doing. We all want to see Jordan, we want to see her face, and we want to see what she's doing. I think I was talking to her. I talked to a lot of people. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was her. She was like, put it down, pull something else. Like, go against your plans, right? So I did, and that's when I finished Xenia, which messed up my September plans because my September plan was to alternate between Xenia and the Tempting Teas until I got to finish on Xenia, and Xenia was finished before September even started. And then I was stuck in this limbo of, well, my plans are ruined. If you hear snoring, that's Gazpacho. Gazpacho loves that floof. We call it the floof. That's like one of those calming beds. I'll drop a link below, but it's like magic for your dogs, as you can see. Okay, so my plans went out the window, and then I was flailing hard. So in my plan for October, I was going to pull out a new start, or I was gonna do a new start for Skeleton Crew. So I was gonna start Skeleton Crew by the Cricut Collection. Bloop. And I did. The called for on Skeleton Crew are in either DMC or Anchor, but I was, you know, feeling fancy. So I pulled out my Weeks Dye Works stash, because remember I acquired like a ton of floss thanks to 1884 Stitchery, Stash Unload, and eBay. Oh, and COVID. And so I put those put the floss to use. I think I have a picture of me color converting. So that, I really hope I have a picture and I'm not just pointing. So this, I have a color card in case I didn't have a picture and I was just awkwardly pointing to the blank wall. I have a color card. Mine's old. I know that they have a newer one and it has the floss. It looks like this. So I pulled this out and I dumped all of the floss on my coffee table, and then I went one by one down the called for DMC and looked to see what it looked like, and then I would pick an over dyed that was similar color or had like, you know, similar color, but it was variegated so I could get like fanciness. Also, a little fun tidbit. This I discovered through Julie. Yeah, Kansas City girl in a Colorado world, in one of her really early floss tubes, because I'm like Situation Normal. If you haven't checked her out, she's super funny. I really enjoy watching her videos too. But I watch floss tubers from the beginning. So if I find a new floss tuber, I start at the beginning and then I just like work my way up until I really get to know them. And then if I get an alert that a new floss tube was released, then I'll watch the latest one. But then if I have like a hole and I need to fill the hole, I'll go back to the older ones. And then anyway, long story, super long. She had mentioned, and I was mind blown, that on the last page, so this page here has all of the floss, all of the DMC for this one. Remember, there's a newer version in number order. And you go and look for it and it tells you what column to find it. So before, and she did this too, none of this is in number order. It has columns up at the top and then the numbers. So I was scanning this whole thing for the correct number until this page happened, which was a lifesaver. I will forever love Julie just for teaching me this. So if you have a color card, go to this page. And that's what happens when you don't read. Right. So I pulled all of that out and then I came up with a colorway. These are, oh my gosh, in a huge mess. See, I'm just like an organized mess. Maybe this colorway's, oh my gosh, they're terrible. Terrible, fired. I'm fired. Let's brush. It's like my hair, tangled mess. But if you brush it, then it gets bigger. Okay, maybe that's better. So this is the color. This is the color. This is the color palette. And this is, picture this plus doubloon. So I was really excited about the color palette. I was really excited about this. I was so excited that I said, why not do something more? I mean, I already converted everything. Okay, no. The real reason is this fabric was gonna be really tight, may not have had a border if I stitched over 2. And you guys know that I have done over 1 with the whale. I've done over 1 with skin. So I decided, let's make an itty bitty skeleton crew. This is my itty bitty skeleton crew. And I'll flip the camera so you get a better image. So let me give you an idea of what this is looking like. Probably looks better on this view. So this is 1/1 on skeleton crew. I'm very happy with the pumpkin and the little tiny bird. These sails have so many stitches in them, it's not even funny, and there's like 6 of them. So everyone has told me not to underestimate the sails, but they're insane. And then I've got this little tiny skeleton. So this is probably, I mean, whoa, see that finger for scale. And I have baby hands. It's super small. I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you think that I should continue with the mini skeleton crew, or should I just leave it and start over in the big version? I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. And what 1/1 is. So those are like the little microscopic crosses. And each fiber will be 1. So it's 1 strand of floss. And I'm doing a full cross. Oh, Gazpacho. And this is variegated floss. So each X is crossed before moving on to the other to give it that kind of effect. Help. What do you guys think? So I need help. The sails are humongo. I love the pumpkin and the bird. The sails are humongo. And then the back stitching on the little guys, it's okay, but it's not my favorite. So I don't know. Either I push through 1/1 and I get him done at some point in time, or I call it what it is and I order a bigger piece of the doubloon and I do him over 2 in the future. So with that predicament, I put him aside and it's like, okay, because 1/1 is rough and 1/1 in a full coverage, basically, well, not full coverage piece, but just like big chunks of solid stitching. It's a lot. So I'm kind of, my options are to work on him every day just a little bit instead of like, because as you can see, when I sit down, like I just plow through a project, and you'll see that in my next new start. I plow through a project, and this is not a plow through a project. It's very tiring on the eyes. If I have to frog, it's a nightmare. I just don't know. But I think I would really enjoy a mini, and he would be super cute at the end. I don't know. So I'm actually leaving this up to you guys. Let me know. Should I continue? Do you guys want to see a mini? Or do I just let this be and start him all over bigger? Let me know. Then I had another new start because I was in a pickle with skeleton crew. This was a surprise stitching, but I couldn't hold it as a surprise anymore. So she already knows about this. This is for Brenda. So Brenda has a little weenie dog named Lucho. Lucho is Gazpacho's cousin, because duh. And so I've had this chart for a long time. This is Plum Street Sampler's Halloweenies. Look at how cute. Look at him. Look at the Halloweenies. So, and they're wearing sweaters. I can't. And when I say wearing sweaters and freak out, I think of Carla Rolodex. I'm like, the bear in the sweater. Well, these are weenies. Weenies in a sweater. Please don't judge where I'm at because this was a new start. And I started it early because I wanted it done by Halloween. And I'm basically almost done. So this is on, hold on, I have like random floss. This is on 32 count sand by Picture This Plus. This is an 18 by 27, but I measured how much I was gonna need for the stitching, and I basically eyeballed it so I can cut it later. And this is where I am. Halloweenies. I'm gonna flip the camera now so we can talk better about it. I told you not to judge me. I am finished with everything except this weenie, who can definitely get finished today. And then we have Hallow, and I just need weenies. And then I'm done. So I'm gonna show you a couple of changes. So over here, he is much darker and he has a black little ear, but I made him Lucho colored. Lucho is very fuzzy, so I had been toying with the idea of making him fuzzy, but I think that it will come out too messy. So I just decided to do him in chickpea. Where is it? Weeks Dye Works chickpea, which gave a really good variegation. Bloop, bloop. And then his ear is in, I think, nutmeg? No. His ear is in Weeks Dye Works hazelnut, but that's in the Skeleton Crew floss. Then this color, and you'll see it again in the sweater, was supposed to be something else, can't remember, whatever the called for was, and I subbed it, oh, Old Brick. And I didn't have it, but I subbed it out for Chris's Bonbon, and I really enjoy the variegation of that like reddish color. Old Brick is also supposed to be used in the fire hydrant, but I subbed that out for nutmeg? No, just kidding. That's hazelnut again. Weeks Dye Works hazelnut, but it's in with the Skeleton Crew. And then the green is supposed to be something else. I didn't have it, so I subbed it for moss. Again, I love the variegation from the dark to the lights that's coming through. And then the only other one was I switched out, because I didn't have it, German chocolate for this limited edition Gentle Arts or Gast. And this is Rhode Island Red. But it was a limited edition, and I don't know if I'm sure you can still get this somewhere, but switched him out. So he needs to get his sweater and his leg, and then I need to finish weenies, and then I can fully press this and get it nice and finished. I will have to talk to Brenda. This is for Brenda. I have to talk to Brenda and see if I want to finish, or if she wants it finished in a pillow, or if she wants it framed. The pillow is super cute, but maybe she wants it framed so that she can pull it out or not. And if she doesn't want it, it's fine, I'll keep it. So Brenda, if you don't want it, I will not get my feelings hurt. I had to stitch it because of Lucho. And I don't have a weenie, but I'm a tia and a godmother to Lucho. And so if you don't want it, I'll just keep him. And then that brings me to September. So today is September 3rd. I think it's September 3rd. And there's a couple of September options. So Sampler September, which would be pulling out Tempting Teas. And that would be my sampler. Or there's, I know people are doing Sal September. So I have a planned start because I need to get in on it. So Stitching Book Club by Sapphire Mountain Handcrafts is doing the Frankenstein book right now. I'm on chapter 6 already, but I have not started it, like the cross stitching. So I know that part 1 was released and the border was released, and obviously with how much I'm stitching, I can totally knock out the border. I actually don't think I want to do the border. I think I just want to do the middle Frankenstein and then do part 1 and, the 2 squares, which is like a ship and the house. And then I'll work on the border as I go. Everyone stitches differently, but I don't like to do the border first. Border stitching for me is kind of boring. And so I like finishing one section and the border along with it. Does that make sense? So I purchased that this morning and I'm planning on starting that. And I already did a fabric dive because I don't have a little needle workshop here, don't have one, and I don't order and bring stuff in because I would pay a buttload of money. So in my little stash here, like how perfect is this? Let's see how perfect this is. Monster Mash by Picture This Plus. And that color is perfect. It's coming exactly how it's supposed to. So this is obviously a very big piece of fabric and I'm planning on doing it. Oh, gosh, I'm so happy with how the camera is picking up this fabric. That is like a perfect example of what this fabric looks like. Look at this. Okay, so I'm doing this on 32 count Monster Mash. I purchased this fabric for Mermaid of Atlantis. That's my baby piece, so I'm gonna insert an image anyway. And I've never talked about it in person and I can't wait to. But Mermaid of Atlantis. I ordered 3 different types of fabric. And this was one of them, and it came like in the colorway or the color viewfinder, it was way darker than the slime green. So I obviously didn't use it, but I was not sad because I knew that the perfect project was gonna come along. And hello, can you please look at this and say this is a perfect Frankenstein stitch along fabric piece, because it is. So I'm very excited about that. So I'll be partaking in September Sal by just doing this. And I technically will be partaking in Sampler September because of the Tempting Teas, which I plan on pulling out too. And then there's another September thing that's going on. Oh, I'm very, very, very loose train of thought. So I'm sorry, I apologize. I'm not supposed to apologize. I literally just said in my tutorial, don't apologize. I am having terrible trains of thoughts and I'm very rambly. I'm not sorry. I don't know what floss I'm gonna pick yet. And I'm going to pick as I go because I want it to be perfect. I pulled DMC 310 black just to see how that would be. And I like it, but I'm not 100% convinced yet. So I'm gonna get creative with this piece. And the way that Kristen at Sapphire Mountain Handcrafts is doing it is she doesn't give you any colors. She says make it your own. So I'm gonna run with that and I'm gonna make it way my own. So I'm excited about that. And then there's one more September thing going on. Start all the things September. You guys know that I have a very limited amount of whips. I have them written out. So I looked at my current whips and I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 current whips. Then Frankenstein will go in and that will go to 9, but Halloweenies is gonna get finished in a day or 2. So then it goes back down to 8. My favorite number is 9. So I'm thinking about one new start. One additional new start. So that would be 1, 2, 3, 4 new starts, which is a lot for me. The last time I did 4, I think, was in May. 4 new starts for me is a lot. So start all the things September, and I already kicked it off by starting Skeleton Crew and Halloweenies, and now I'm starting the Frankenstein Sal. So I think I'm gonna do one more thing. But I don't know if I want to tell you guys yet. I'm having... No. Should I tell you guys? Or should I start it and then tell you guys? This is the thing. Here, let's get real. Let's talk. I'm afraid to say it because, not because everyone's gonna run and go and stitch it. That doesn't bother me. I'm afraid because if I don't start it, and I told you guys I was gonna start it, then that means that I'm doing something that I said I was gonna do and I didn't do, and that bothers me. And it's funny because I know a lot of people do that, and I'm already doing that by like, oh, this is my plan, and then the plan completely changes. All right, let's do it. I am having Mirabilia withdrawals. Bad. In October, Athena is coming out because it's her birthday month. But what if I start another Mirabilia in September for Start All of the Things, and it's just a start one real thing, it's a big project, and I just add it to my whips, and it's number 9, and I'm really excited about it. I should do it right. Okay, without further ado, I've shown this before. I've had her kitted for a very long time. Now I have to do it because I just showed you. Bluebeard's Princess Mirabella by Mirabilia will be coming out as a start. I love her. She is super creepy, eerie, and her blues, and I just love her so much. And I already told you I did Mermaid of Atlantis. That was actually my first Mirabilia ever. Because why not? You would think it'd be Xenia, which is like a small one. No, I went all in with Mermaid of Atlantis. And it's my favorite piece of all time that I have ever stitched. So I need a mermaid for 2020. I have all of the call for, I have everything. I have all of the beads, the cryonic, I've got everything. I've had it for a million years. And I will be stitching her on dark fabric again. This is Fiberlicious Evergreen, 32 count linen. I've never stitched on Fiberlicious. I used to be part of their Fabric of the Month club. I stopped, not because I didn't like their fabric, but because I was starting up the Picture This Plus Fabric of the Month, and someone had to go, so Fiberlicious went. But I know that for 2021, I will not continue the Picture This Plus Fabric of the Month, and I think I may tack on Fiberlicious back again. If she or he, if they are accepting Fabric of the Month people. So anyway, that is not coming true to color at all. How do I do this? Do I stand behind it? Yeah, no, this is coming washed out. It's terrible because it's a very deep. Maybe if I double it, maybe if I triple it, so then no light is shining through. That's better. It's, yeah, this is still a little washy, but it's a super dark, very dark green. Very dark green. This is not coming out how it should. That's better. The further away I get, the better the color is. See how dark it is? It looks like this. So I think she is going to pop so hard on this fabric because she is like very pasty white and she has like this blue light hair. I'm so excited. Now I have to start her, but I don't know when. And yeah, I think that that's pretty much it. That was a lot. Let's see, we're in September 3rd. I do Flosstube about every 2 weeks now. So we will see what happens in the next 2 weeks. And then we'll go from there. It sounds like I have set the bar very high with my projects and how much stitching I should do for the next 2 weeks. But I should be able to do it. Yeah. I think that I'm going to make it my full-time job to stitch and continue creating YouTube content. Because, yeah, I have nothing better to do. And actually, like I said, it helps the creative juices flow. So don't be surprised if you see other stuff just popping up on my channel. Again, if you're not interested in anything other than the floss tubes, thank you for hanging out. I will continue doing floss tubes, so it's not gonna stop. It's just I'm creating more content. So if you want to see more of me or more of the island or more of just whatever, hop on over to my iced coffee chats. I'm doing about 1 to 2 a week. 1 to 3? No, 1 to 2. This week it's only 1. Next week I'm gonna push for 2. And yeah, we have a really fun community over there that's very laid back, and we talk all things, all things. So without further ado, thank you so much for hanging out with me. Thanks so much for liking, subscribing, for sharing, for the shout outs, for everything, because this has been a lot of fun. And I guess that's pretty much it. So I don't have a sign off other than just stay safe and stay healthy and wear your mask, which is a pretty standard one. Be nice to people, and continue stitching and start all the things, because I'm terrified of starting all the things. So yeah, I will see you guys next time. Bye.